Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, classification of accounts. So, based on this itself, your complete journal entry will be there. So, first and foremost thing, you have to understand the classification of accounts. So, now it is the first one, the classification of accounts is the first one is personal account. So under personal account, what happens? It is like related to the person, an institution and a bank. Whatever the things which comes under person, institution as well as banks, we call it as a personal account. Okay. So if say for example, name of a person, Kavya, Ramya, like that, any name of a person, okay, whether it's a male or a female, any name, when it comes, the person's name, then it comes to the personal account. And second is institutions. Institutions or an organization, anything for that matter, government institutions or like any clubs, so any organization, Reliance Industries, Infosys, Income Tax Department, anything for that matters, institutions, college, like different names of colleges, then bank, Canara Bank, SBI, anything. So if if you get that into your question, that means it comes to the personal account. So personal accounts are accounts related to the person, institutions with whom business is dealing. Okay. So this is the first account under the classification. It's a personal account. So second, real account. So under real account, see real account, it is like which is related to the properties as companies owns. So whatever the company as a property, that and all comes to the real account. So for example, tangible it is classified into two. One is tangible accounts and intangible accounts. So tangible means, as you know, the tangible means which you can see. Tangible which you can see. So which you can see, that example is machinery, furniture, motor vehicle, cash, stock. This and all comes under land, building, fixed assets, we can say. Generally, like tangible accounts, which you can see, that is the tangible. And tangible, as I've told you, real accounts comes under the which has like property which the company is own. If say for example, land, the company owns, furniture companies owns, this all it and all comes under the property or a real accounts. Second one is intangible accounts. Intangible accounts means which you cannot see, but even that also be an income or even that also be a property to the company. So intangible means example patent, goodwill, copyrights, this and all an examples of a real account. Next, third one is nominal account. Are accounts related to the expenses and income of a company. Say for example, if company does any expenses, expenses means like paying of a salary, paying of a wages, transportation expenses, salary, anything a company, even a person's, like if a company is giving, they're spending on tea or coffee, that and all comes under the expenses. Say for example, whatever the expenses that is occurring in a company, it comes under the nominal account. And also if company does if it is receiving any income, say for example, rent received, commission received, interest received, anything, if it is a company is receiving any income, that also comes under the nominal account. So a very important classification of accounts, it is divided into three. One is personal account, second one is real account, third is nominal account. Okay, so personal accounts, just remember, if you get any name of a person or institution or a bank, you can think it is a personal account. Okay, second one is real account. Real account means furniture, machinery, then stock, cash, then goodwill, patent, even purchases, sales, purchase return comes under the real account. Okay, then nominal account. So nominal account means whatever the companies does income, or if company gets an income or expenses, that comes under the nominal account. This three is very important. Why? Because based on this three logic only we are going to solve the journal entry. So based on this we'll be doing the journal formula also, or we can say the rule here. Rules for debit and credit for personal, real and nominal accounts. Okay, suppose the first one is personal account. As I've told you, the personal accounts comes under the name of a person, institution and bank. Okay, say for example, here the rule comes debit the receiver, credit the giver. Personal account rule, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Let us understand one example here. Okay, how do we classify it? So debit the receiver, say for example, company receives cash from Swati. Company receives cash from Swati. So now, as I've told you that name of a person. So when you get Swati, when you identify, first thing you have to see personal account means there should be name of a person. So name of a person means here Swati. So company received cash from Swati. So now Swati is a personal account. Now you have to understand whether Swati is a receiver or a giver. So now you can say that giver, because company has received money from. From means Swati is giving. So credit the giver. So that like that only we are going to solve the sum. So just now I am giving an example. While we doing the sum, we'll be understanding very clearly. Next is real account. According to the real account, what I said, real account comes under like cash or furniture. Everything comes under the real account. The rule is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Suppose purchase of furniture. So now furniture is what I have told you. Furniture, land, building, everything comes under the real account. Now furniture comes under the real account. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Now furniture is coming into the company. Then we have to write it in the debit. Next is nominal account. So nominal account means debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain. So debit all expenses means, say for example, salary paid. So will salary paid means it's an expenses. We used to write it in a debit. Commission received. We are receiving, company is receiving a commission. We'll write it in a credit. But now understand, so don't get confused. As for now, I just give you an hint how the question will be and how do we want it to write. But in the next class, keeping this rules as a base, we'll try to solve. But before, what we have to do means we have to understand the rule, as well as in which account we have to, like, classification is very important. Suppose if I say commission received, immediately it has to come into mind that commission received means nominal account. Name of a person means personal account. All the tangible and intangible assets comes under the real account. If you classify that, then if you remember these rules, it's very easy for you to do the journal entry. So next class itself I'll be posting how we can do the journal entry keeping this as a base. Okay, thank you all for listening.